Hey guys, I just wanted to shoot a quick video today. I just watched Scott Taylor McCormick's video the other day, talking about, what you do dealing with negative feedback from, family or friends or people you care about. And I thought it was a great video. Just kind of brought up a lot of emotions and a lot of stuff going on in my own head around those sorts of things as well. But one of the things I've really seen with that now is that for a lot of people who start out, me included, with the internet marketing stuff, is that a lot of the marketing around it is rags to riches, and it's pictures of guys in flash cars and holding up checks and lots of money. And a lot of that marketing, while I say I didn't really like it because it's kind of completely hypey and OTT, that I did come in through that funnel. So there's a part in all of us that's kind of looking for that thing of well, what if I could change my circumstances really fast with that? But the other side of that is that when you start out doing something new, whether it be internet marketing or anything, and you're not really sure how it works, there's kind of an idea of you have to make it work, and then you can share it with other people, then you can talk about it. Whereas with the online stuff, it's so far out there for most people that you're actually dealing with and talking with, and for most people's normal lives, if you say to them that, even having a conversation of well, I'm aiming for 10,000 a month, most people are going to think you're out of your mind at that stage. Because that's just not a conversation most people can have. But that it's that thing of essentially you're taking the current work model, which is time for money. You work, you give them your time, and they pay you in money. And that the online stuff gives you the ability to actually break that connection so that you don't have to spend time for money. You have to put the time in, you figure out what works, and then you automate it. And that's the beauty of it. But that, I think part of the journey for me is when you go, when I started out online, I didn't want to talk to people about this sort of stuff because I was unsure and I was a bit afraid of it. And part of me was this is never going to work. And part of me was whoa, what if this does work? Kind of just really didn't know around it. And, having spent a long time with, delving into that thought process and staying with it and just kind of going through the uncomfortable, not knowing how I'm going to get there and not knowing how it's going to figure it out and work out, then it's kind of brought me back to a point now where I'm no, I get this. I understand the power of this. For anybody else who's out there and they're struggling with this sort of stuff, that you have to look at anybody else who's doing this sort of stuff and you have to say, look, if that person did it, if there's other people who are doing this, then I can do it. And then when you look at it that way, then it's basically, how do I get there? Not, I'm going to try this once, give it a go, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It can't work. Whereas when you change that and you look at it well, how can I help myself get there? How can I help myself get there quicker? Who can I get help from? What do I need to do to get there? And some of these things, as in, I started out and it was trying to figure out how to market an existing business online. And now I've come around to realising that a lot of the process of building a business is actually building yourself. And then when you can actually come back to a space where somebody else can tell you, oh, I don't believe in internet marketing, I don't think it's possible. You can say, well, thanks, that's fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. But this is where I'm going with it. And the other thing it brought up for me was that thing of those people you really care about and are important to you in your life. Your brothers, sisters, family, and close friends. They're all the people you kind of need to get to a point of having a conversation with them of, I've started out on this thing, this internet marketing thing, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work for me. But I'm going to get it to work. And I really need you guys to be behind me on this one. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to spend more time with you. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to have more time that I actually do what I want. And for most people, that's spending time with people they love. And then when you sit down and have that conversation with most of those people, they'll be behind you after that. They won't understand it, but maybe you don't understand it yourself. But if you're willing to sit down and have that conversation, then it means that there's not this thing in the background, that you're this constant chatter of this isn't going to work, and you can't talk to your friends about it, and you can't talk to whatever about it, so you kind of isolate yourself a little bit. And then you actually need to have some sort of conversation with those people who are important in your life and explain to them that this is important to you and that it's out of your comfort zone, but you want to go and you want to test that out and you want to try that road and you want to make that work. And then it just changes the conversation a little bit, because you're not saying, look, I know this works. You're not saying your way is better than my way or the other way around. You're saying this is something new and there's a possibility here that this will work. And I'm willing to play that game and to change that and to see where that takes me, because then that's exciting. Whereas if you sit there, and I know for me, a lot of in the beginning, it was that thing of not knowing what to do. Like if somebody asked me about it, I was kind of putting it down, not really giving the benefits of it, because I wasn't sure and I didn't know where it was going. And you kind of have to go in and stay with that and stay with whatever it is you want to do, and just actually go after it and be willing to be brutally stubborn and go after it and figure that out. And when things don't work out, you just try another way and you keep going. So just wanted to shoot that quick video. All that stuff just came up for me there when I was watching Scott's, and just that thing of anything you can do to avoid having those, shall we say, confrontational things, that when you explain to people that you're not sure how it's going to work, but this is what you want to do, it is really out of your comfort zone, and it's you don't know what's going to happen with it, but you're willing to play that and you want to give that a go, then it changes things around, because they actually see the emotional connection in you then. So that's cool. Happy Easter, guys.